Hey guys, this is Sam from Chalice and Chains, and I wanted to do a video on something that's been bugging me a little bit, and it's the idea of, really the question of, well, how do I deal with murder hobos, right? My party is turning into murder hobos. How do I deal with that, right? Well, I've been finding this really interesting and amusing to see some of the responses, because what I find is that the reason for that, it really is one of two reasons. Either you as the DM did not have a clear expectation of what your campaign was going to be about, and you didn't communicate that effectively to your players, meaning don't be stupid, don't go and just, oh, well, I'm going to go kill the barmaid, or, oh, I'm going to burn down the whatever, like, don't, if you don't want that to happen, let your players know, hey, we're not a party of murder hobos, we are heroes, right? Set that expectation, right? Or the second thing is, you didn't realize that that's what your players want, and you aren't adjusting to that, right? Because at the end of the day, some players, that's what they like. They want to just go in and just murder things, and that's not how I like to play. Those aren't the type of players that I want to play with. But you need to know that up front. That's part of setting this, especially if you're playing in a campaign, as the, game master, dungeon master, whatever, you need to know that. So going back to the idea of, well, how do you deal with murder hobos? Well, if it's a situation where they are, playing, they've basically set up a good aligned character. They're not wantonly killing everything. They're whatever. They're just making bad decisions. A lot of that is because they don't feel the immersion yet, right? They're just playing a silly game. They're not really immersed into the world. So you have logical consequences, right? Like you would in real life. If you go in and you rob a store and you shoot the clerk, there's going to be a police investigation, right? Well, if you go into a town, rob the temple and burn it to the ground, don't you think it's likely that the temple's going to investigate? And if there are witnesses and they find out where you are, they might send a paladin out to, exact justice. Now, justice may not be murder. They may not kill you. They might give you an option to go to prison, to make amends in some other way, to find redemption by, joining their god and whatever. I mean, whatever. It could be anything, but have that consequence, and set that precedent early, right? Don't wait until they're 5th level and they've been just, murdering their way across the land to send, a squad of town guard after them, town militia, which they kill easily, right? Like, if you do that, I'm sorry, but that makes you a bad DM. Like, you gotta, that doesn't make any sense, right? Oh, well, they rolled really well, and they persuaded the guards not to kill them. All right, sorry, but if the guards are told these guys are murderers, or these guys burned down, the temple, whatever, in 5th edition D&D, you're rolling at disadvantage, okay? Plus, I'm giving them a boost, like, and not to mention, I may not have one roll. I mean, maybe one of the guards is like, yeah, no problem, but maybe I roll for another one, and, they get their advantage, and they get a really good roll, and they're like, no, we are not letting these people off. This is our, this is going to be our solution, right? Do that. In-game logical consequences. Okay? And if your players don't like that and they rage quit, you don't want to play with them. Get new players. The other solution that you can do is talk to the actual players out of game and say, I don't want to run my campaign this way. I don't want to run my adventure this way. Stop doing that, right? Or the third thing that I would say is let them do it. Set up, build your campaigns, build your encounters, build your adventures around the idea that these guys are going to run around, murder, pillage, steal, whatever, and have fun with that, right? So sorry, that's my rant there. But let me know what you guys think. Like, you know, does that make sense? Do you guys do something similar, or are you like, Sam, you're totally crazy? So, you know, drop me a line. Subscribe to Chalice and Chains on Facebook. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Later.